everyone, welcome back. It's been a little while. I anticipated making a lot of videos and then got distracted and my brain capacity went somewhere over there somewhere. Anyway, I've been trying to make lots of exciting plans for upcoming projects and different ways to do bookshop crawls and all that jazz, so it's been quite a lot to deal with, but exciting. Anyway, new challenges are always good. And lots of you lovely people have been keeping me busy ordering a lot of books and pre-love subscriptions, and lots of you have been subscribing to our new Ninja in Training scheme, which we're working on developing even more, so it's got some fun challenges to go with the kids' books that we're sending out each month. That's the 8 to 12s age band, and then we've got also the Ninja Apprentice one, which is YA. I'm very excited to launch these because I've been wanting to do them for a while, and just for various reasons haven't managed to, so really excited that we've launched those. Anyway, what I'm really here today to talk about is travel memoirs. So since there's not a lot of travelling to be done at the moment and for the foreseeable, it seemed like a good time to talk about some of my favourite travel books. I've got 6 to talk about, 3 which I have read and adore, and 3 which are on my TBR which look really exciting. So if you read any of them, I'd love to hear what you think about them, and I'm just going to talk about them really quickly. First of all, I'm going to give a little plug to something you've got one more day left to pre-order. That's Gears for Queers. You've probably seen me talking about this on social media. It's fantastic. I love it. It is the best thing I've read this year, and it comes out tomorrow. So that's very exciting. If you order it through our link, which I'll leave in the description, you get £1 off your pre-order as well. Yay! So this is a memoir of Abigail Melton and Lilith Cooper's tour through Europe on their bikes. And it's really, really cool. They're just really lovely writers. They've got sort of a brilliant story to tell. It's really interesting because it's cycle touring, so it's a bit different from your standard just road tripping, whatever. And they travel through some really interesting countries. They also both talk very openly about mental health issues, which I love, and I think that they're just really positive voices, and that you probably need them in your life. So that's my little plug over. This is just purely to support indies. You get a bit of a bonus because you get £1 off. We're not really making anything out of it, but it's fun. So pre-order. So yeah, that's Gears for Queers, and the link is in the description to order that. And if you are watching this after the 4th, you'll be able to order it still directly from Sandstone's website, so that will still be a thing you can do. Okay, so the next one I've got is one that we have included in a box in the past, and it is just gorgeous. It's The Outrun by Amy Liptrot. We included this in our inspiration box just before we went on hiatus in November of 2018. What year are we in now? Yes. 2018. So this is Amy Liptrot's memoir about returning back to her childhood home in Orkney, and her work with the RSPB and various conservation projects, and her interest in things like uninhabited islands and wild swimming. And I love her writing so much. It's so beautiful. I've read this book 4 or 5 times now, and I actually lent my first copy to somebody, and they loved it so much they forgot to give it back to me for months, so I just bought myself another copy because I needed to reread it. So her writing is just gorgeous, and she writes really interestingly about a load of stuff that you probably won't think you're interested in, and you find yourself becoming interested in it because her writing is so fantastic. So really recommend it. Also, the cover's gorgeous. So there's that too, and this is published by Canongate, so indie, yay. These are actually all indie. Hey. So yeah, this is one that I have read and hugely recommend. If you haven't read it, do pick up a copy of The Outrun by Amy Liptrot. The last one is one that I've read you will probably have heard of as well, and I love that it's indie, so I can talk about it so much on Ninja Book Box blog and the channel and everything, and that is Wild by Cheryl Strayed, which is published in the UK by Atlantic, who are an indie publisher. So this is, in case you have somehow missed the hype, the Cheryl Strayed's memoir about her decision to hike the Pacific Crest Trail after her mother died. She was in kind of a really bad place, had got herself in with like some bad people, into some like drug addiction kind of issues or drug dependency issues. Anyway, she kind of decides off the cuff to just hike this really long, hard trail with like minimal preparation, and it's about the physical experience of doing that, definitely, but also about like the mental experience that she has doing that as well, and how she kind of works out a lot of her things while she's walking by herself, and it's fantastic. There is of course a movie as well, which has Reese Witherspoon in it. It is good. It's a good movie. Yeah, I liked it. But yeah, read the book. Read the book first, because also, again, this is like a theme. Cheryl Strayed's writing is beautiful. She's a beautiful, beautiful writer. She wrote an advice column for years anonymously, which is full of beautiful advice that will like make you cry. And that is her book, is put together. I think it's Tiny Beautiful Things it's called, but this is wild, and it's fantastic, and it is coming up on my screen as blue, but hey, reversing. Okay, yeah, so Wild by Cheryl Strayed. I'm not sure what I've done to my screen to make it do that, because it usually flips things. Anyway, okay, so now I've got 3 on my pile that have been on my TBR for a little while, but I keep kind of looking at them and thinking, oh, that would be fun. The first one is kind of not, it's sort of outside of the box of the other things I've chosen. It's more of a kind of biography than a memoir, because it's not written by the person about them. Obviously, this is The Durrells of Corfu, and it's by Michael Haag. I think I've pronounced that right. Anyway, so it's about Gerald Durrell. I don't know if anybody watches the Durrells ITV series. Well, it's on Netflix as well. But it's just such a gorgeous series. I love it so much, and they're so crazy, and they're always like having insects in their drawers, and I just love them. So Gerald Durrell, who founded Jersey Zoo, his family moved to Corfu. And it was just his mum and himself and his 3 siblings, and they had a crazy time of it. So this is like a biographical account of that. I've also got Gerald Durrell's book, My Family and Other Animals, which I plan to read as well this summer. But that's not indie, so didn't make it into this video. And I'm interested, having watched 3 series of the Durrells now, to find out like more about the actual facts of what happened in their life. Also, Corfu, it's like sunny and lovely, and I would say the series is gorgeous as well. Like the settings in the series, oh, just beautiful. So this is published by Profile Books. So yeah, there's that. The Durrells of Corfu. I've got another Canongate on here, and this was gifted to me a while ago. Bought for me by somebody else, not gifted by the publisher. But this is Outpost by Dan Richards. And it's about the wild places on our planet. Sorry, I'm just reading the inside because I haven't obviously read this. So I have quite a vague idea, but I want to make sure I'm giving you the right information. So Dan Richards explores the appeal of far-flung outposts in mountains, tundra, forests, oceans and deserts. There are landscapes that speak of deep time whose scale can knock us down to size. Their untamed nature is part of their beauty, and such places have long drawn the adventurous, the spiritual and the artistic. I think the really nice thing about travel memoirs in a time like this is that you can sort of envisage places that you've been or places that you want to go after this is over. It encourages like forward thinking, which I think is really positive for all of us, whatever situation we're in. I know we've been going through some interesting times regarding day jobs and all the kinds of things, school, returning to school, all that kind of stuff, when everything's up in the air and you don't really know what's going on. It's nice to have something to look for, like to look forward to plan. So yeah, that's Outpost by Dan Richards. It's called, the subtitle is A Journey to the Wild Ends of the Earth. And then finally, I've got one that I was sent ages ago, and I started reading it and I was really enjoying it, and then I like put it down somewhere in my house and lost it. Haven't picked it up since. But this is The Elephant and the Bee by Jess, and it's published by Jacaranda Books. And it is, so Jess is a Kenyan lady, and she wanted to save the world basically, so she goes off to help. She goes to various places and works in various locations, and then she discovers a new passion of beekeeping and ends up returning to Africa to dedicate herself to that passion. And I'm really excited about reading more of this, because I did really enjoy, so you can see my bookmark is like not that far through, but I was really enjoying it before I put it down in my house and lost it forever. So I'm really happy that I found that again and put it back on my TBR for this summer. So I think these are going to be my kind of, obviously the 3 that I haven't read will be my kind of summer, like nowish TBR coming up. I really, really, really love a good travel memoir. I love reading about other people's adventures. I'm not really a big international traveller. I'm not very good at it. The last time we travelled internationally was to see my sister, and it was a lovely holiday, but I get very anxious travelling internationally, and it's not always something I can do, despite the fact that I love reading about it. You can read my, you can watch my feature in the Anxiety and Rereading series on At Home in the World by Tashokson Ryder. I love reading. I love reading about other people's travel experiences, even though I'm too much of a wuss to do it myself. And I do love traveling in the UK. We go all over the place in the UK usually. It's part of why I run the roaming bookshop cruises, so I get to visit places. So yeah, if you've got any good travel memoir type recommendations for me, please do leave them in the comments. As always, hit subscribe for more bookish content. There'll be some more board game reviews coming up soon, some more anxiety and rereading stuff. I'm going to do a little shopping my shelves video, which I'm actually going to film in a minute, so because it's just nice sometimes to remember what you've bought, especially when you're a massive book hoarder like me, which has turned out to be really good in this current situation. So yeah, I hope you're all keeping well. It's that weird way that we sign off at the moment. I hope everyone's as well as can be expected in this unprecedented and strange time. But no, really we do. And yeah, I will see you soon. Bye.